Tech is moving fast, and today it moved faster. A classified government deal just got reopened. A nation of 90 million people has been cut off from the world. And the hardware unveiled this week will make you question what your devices are even capable of. Stay with me to the very end. The last story will change how you see your phone. Claude just went down. Twice in 24 hours. Anthropic confirmed a technical issue knocked their AI offline not once but twice, right after Claude rocketed to #1 on the US App Store. Think about that timeline. Millions of people download Claude in solidarity after the government standoff. Then the servers buckle under the weight of that very support. This is what explosive overnight success looks like from the inside, infrastructure that wasn't built for viral demand. For every user who tried to reach Claude and hit an error screen, that frustration is actually proof that the people voted. They downloaded. And they broke the app in the process. Growing pains hurt. But growth is always the problem you want to have. The real question now, can Anthropic scale its infrastructure as fast as it just won the public's trust? A deal that was done is being reopened. Sam Altman confirmed Monday that OpenAI is actively amending its Pentagon agreement, the same deal announced with fanfare just days ago. The details remain classified, but the context is not. Anthropic got banned for saying no to the government. OpenAI said yes, and is now walking something back. The public is watching. Developers are watching. Every AI company is watching. This is not just a contract negotiation. This is a test of what AI companies are actually made of when pressure comes from the very top. Altman is threading a needle between government access and public trust. And every clause in that amendment will be scrutinized by every AI company deciding right now which side of the line they stand on. Stay with me, because the next story shows what happens when a government takes digital control to its absolute extreme. 1%. That is how much internet connectivity Iran has right now. NetBlocks and Cloudflare Radar both confirmed it. Iran's national internet flatlined at approximately 1% of ordinary levels following US and Israeli military strikes beginning February 28. And in those strikes, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei was killed. Within hours of the strikes, connectivity dropped from 50% to near zero. Major hubs, Tehran, Isfahan, Fars, all dark. The state news agency IRNA was taken offline. A popular prayer app with 5 million downloads was hijacked to send anti-regime messages. Over 90 million people cut off from the outside world. This is not just censorship. This is a combination of government shutdown and coordinated cyber attack dismantling a nation's ability to communicate at the most critical moment in its modern history. And expats around the world right now cannot reach their families inside Iran. AI just got wearable. Qualcomm unveiled the Snapdragon Wear Elite, a chip designed to bring on-device artificial intelligence to everything you put on your body. Not just your smartwatch. Glasses. Rings. Health monitors. Embedded in clothing. The critical words are on-device. Your AI doesn't phone home to the cloud. It runs locally. On your wrist. Against your skin. That matters for speed, privacy, and battery life simultaneously. We are moving away from the smartphone as the center of your digital life toward a distributed intelligence that surrounds your entire body. Qualcomm is building the foundation layer for that shift. Every device you wear in 2027 will run a chip like this. And every one of those chips makes the boundary between you and your technology a little less obvious. Lenovo just showed us what laptops become next. A modular laptop where you swap components like building blocks. A glasses-free 3D display that delivers depth without any headset. A foldable Legion gaming laptop that collapses into your bag. All physical prototypes walking the conference floor at MWC Barcelona right now. The laptop has not fundamentally changed in 20 years, same clamshell, same keyboard, same flat screen. Lenovo is saying that era is ending. What comes next is modular, three-dimensional, and foldable. The hardware revolution that transformed phones over the last decade is arriving for your laptop. And Lenovo intends to lead it. Stay with me because the next story is about a company rebuilding the entire operating model of enterprise business around AI from the ground up. Huawei just drew a line between the old world and the new one. Their AI-native framework is not AI bolted onto existing systems. It is operations rebuilt from scratch with AI at the core. 3 layers working in sync, data-driven optimization that learns from every transaction, knowledge-driven empowerment that understands context, and agentic operations where human experts and AI agents work side by side as colleagues. This is not a future product. It shipped this week. Enterprise customers can deploy it right now. This is what it looks like when AI stops being a feature and becomes the operating system of an entire organization. Every manual workflow, every repetitive decision, every bottleneck that used to require a human is now a candidate for replacement. Huawei is showing the world exactly what that looks like in production. Apple sold Vision Pro as the future of personal computing. ByteDance Pico is selling it as your new desk. Project Swan is an XR headset designed entirely around work. Not gaming. Not entertainment. Your files. Your meetings. Your applications. All floating in spatial computing around you. No desk needed. No monitor needed. Just you, the headset, and an infinite AI-powered workspace. The challenger Apple did not see coming is not Meta or Samsung. It is ByteDance, the company that already owns your attention on TikTok, and now wants to own your working hours too. The XR market just became genuinely competitive. And the battleground is not your living room. It is your office. $4 billion. That is what Nvidia just invested in fiber optics. Not chips. Not software. The cables between the chips. $2 billion into Lumentum. $2 billion into Coherent. Both photonics companies building the optical interconnects inside data centers. Why? Because as AI models scale, the bottleneck is no longer the GPU. It is the speed at which data moves between GPUs. Nvidia solved the compute problem. Now they are buying the solution to the communication problem, before it becomes a crisis. This is what separates great companies from extraordinary ones. They identify the next bottleneck before it slows them down and they remove it. Nvidia stock jumped 2% on this announcement because investors read it correctly. This is not a cost. This is a moat being built around the entire AI infrastructure stack. ASML makes the machines that make the chips that make AI possible. There is no Nvidia without ASML. There is no Apple Silicon without ASML. They are the single most critical and least discussed company in all of technology. And this week they announced expansion beyond EUV, new manufacturing tools for AI chips that do not even exist yet. When ASML innovates, every chip company gets faster. Every AI model gets more powerful. Every device in the world gets smarter. This announcement signals one thing very clearly: ASML sees AI chip demand accelerating so fast that current manufacturing technology will not be sufficient to meet it. They are building the tools for the next generation of computing. The AI race just got a new engine at its foundation. Stay with me because the next story is about making the invisible internet backbone smarter. The invisible infrastructure that carries every byte of your data just got smarter. FiberHome unveiled 10 innovations at MWC spanning 5G infrastructure, AI-native network integration, and next-generation telecommunications optimization. You will not see this company trending on social media. But you use their technology every single time you make a call or load a page. FiberHome builds the backbone. The cables. The switches. The routing systems. And now those systems are becoming AI native. Self-optimizing spectrum. Predictive maintenance. Smarter traffic routing in real time. When the backbone becomes intelligent, the whole internet improves for every person on it, invisibly, silently, but profoundly. This is the kind of infrastructure innovation that makes every other story in today's episode possible. The fastest growing markets can also become the fastest falling ones. Ola Electric, which was supposed to be India's EV champion, just dropped out of the top 5 in market share and hit an all-time low stock price simultaneously. India's EV market is not failing. It is maturing. And maturing markets are brutal. Competitors multiplying. Prices compressing. Customers with real options for the first time. Ola rode the first wave perfectly. But the second wave, consolidation, profitability, and differentiation, requires a completely different set of capabilities. This is a warning for every startup that wins a market early and mistakes early momentum for permanent advantage. Being first does not mean staying first. And the competition never stops getting better. Free PhD level reasoning. No subscription. No paywall. Just advanced AI available to anyone on Earth at zero cost. That is what DeepSeek is offering right now, and it is forcing a reckoning at OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and every company charging $20 a month for premium AI access. DeepSeek is not as capable as the top US models. But it is good enough for most everyday tasks. And the price is zero. When your competitor's floor is free, you cannot compete on price anymore. You must compete on trust. On safety. On reliability. On features that genuinely matter to users beyond raw performance. The AI commoditization that experts predicted 3 years ago is happening right now. The companies that survive it will be the ones who worked out what users actually value, and it is not just intelligence. Apple never announces at someone else's event. But they absolutely schedule around someone else's event. The updated iPad Air and faster budget iPhone dropped right before MWC flooded the news cycle with every competitor announcing simultaneously. Deliberate timing. Get your news cycle before the noise. Let your products breathe before they get buried in a wall of competitor launches. The iPad Air gets faster processing. The budget iPhone gets a meaningful speed improvement. Neither is revolutionary. Both are refinements. But Apple's refinement strategy has a single purpose: make sure there is never a moment where buying an Apple product feels like settling for second best. Quiet drops. Consistent cadence. Permanent relevance. And that is what is happening in tech right now. Claude crashed twice in 24 hours under the weight of its own overnight success. OpenAI is rewriting its Pentagon deal after public scrutiny hit a classified agreement. Iran has been cut off from the world, 90 million people, 1% connectivity, for days, after US and Israeli strikes killed Khamenei. Qualcomm launched on-device AI for every wearable you own, not just your watch. Lenovo showed a modular laptop, a glasses-free 3D screen, and a foldable gaming machine at MWC. Huawei released a shipped AI-native operations framework redesigning how enterprises actually run. ByteDance Pico challenged Apple Vision Pro with an XR headset built entirely for the office. Nvidia dropped $4 billion on fiber optics to remove the bottleneck between its own GPUs. ASML announced tools for AI chips that don't exist yet, building the next generation of manufacturing. Fiber Home made the invisible internet backbone smarter with 10 AI-native innovations at MWC. Ola Electric dropped out of India's top 5 EV brands and hit an all-time stock low. DeepSeek is giving away PhD-level AI for free and breaking the entire US pricing model. Apple quietly dropped a faster iPad Air and budget iPhone right before MWC buried the news. This is not the future anymore. This is today. If this show fired you up, if you want the stories that actually matter, every single day, then smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the bell icon. Never miss an episode. Your support is what keeps this channel alive. See you tomorrow with more stories that will blow your mind. Stay curious. Stay informed. And stay subscribed.